many flies and that, but he would sometimes pollute the female members of the many aristocratic families by forcefully raping them.
While creating such great disturbance all over the country, sometimes he heard very sweet musical sound from Raivantak mountain, and so he created that mountainous region of many beautiful young girls enjoying their company of Lord Balram's body, whose every feature was very beautiful, decorated. Similarly, the young girls present, dressed and garland with the flower of the exhibit of much beauty. Lord Balram seemed fully intoxicated from drinking the Varuni beverage.
Creature's gorilla was so powerful, but that he takes pleasure in exhibiting extraordinary strength. So he took a stone and threw it at Dvida. The gorilla, however, artfully avoided being struck by the stone. In order to insult Balram, the gorilla took away the earthen pot in which the Varuni was kept. Dvida, being just intoxicated with his limited strength, began to tear off all the valuable clothes worn by Balram and accompanying young girls. He was He was so puffed up that he thought Balram could not do anything to chastise him, and he continued to offend Balramji
and became very angry and decided to kill him. Blood flowed from the gorilla's head with great force, but the stream of blood simply enhanced his beauty like a stream of liquid manganese coming out of a great mountain. The striking of Balrama's club did not even slightly disturb him. On the contrary, he immediately uprooted another big oak tree and, after clipping off all its leaves, again struck Balrama's head with it. But Balrama, big tree to strike Balrama, Lord Balrama direction and again attack Balrama in the same way. As a result of this continuous fighting, the forest became treeless. When no more trees were available, Dvivida took help from the hills and threw large pieces of Lord Balrama into mere pebbles. The gorilla, being bereft of all trees and stone slabs, now stood before Balrama and waved his strong fists. This time, Lord Balrama became most angry. Since the gorilla was striking him with his hands, Lord Balrama would not strike him back with his own weapons. The club or the fell, all the trees and forests appeared to totter.
Persons from the upper planetary system showered flowers on the person of Lord Balrama and vibrated sounds glorifying his supremacy. All of them chanted, "All glories to Lord Balrama. Let us offer our respectful obeisances."
Princess wanted to marry her. In such case, the Swayamvar ceremony is held so that the girl may select her husband according to her own choice. In Lakshmana's Swayamvar assembly, when the girl was to select her husband, Samba close to his mother. The name Samba indicates a son who is very much his mother's pet. Amba means mother and Sa means with. So this special name was given to him because he always remained with his mother. He was also known as Jambavati Suta for the name same reason. As previously explained, all the sons of Krishna were qualified as their great father. Samba wanted Duryodhana's daughter Lakshmana, although she was not inclined to have him. Therefore, Samba kidnapped Lakshmana by force from the Swayamvar assembly.
Because Samba took Lakshmana away from the assembly by force, all the members of the Kuru dynasty, such as Dhritarashtra, Bhishma, Vidura, and Arjun, although Arjun thought it an insult to their family tradition that the boy Samba would possibly have kidnapped their daughter. All of them knew that Lakshmana was not at all inclined to select him as her husband, and that she was not given a chance to select her own husband. Instead, she was forcibly taken away by this boy. Therefore, they decided that he must be punished. They unanimously declared that he was most impudent and had degraded the Kuru's family tradition. Therefore, all of them, under the counsel of elder members of the Kuru family, decided to arrest the boy, but not to kill him. They concluded that the girl could not be married to any boy. According to the Vedic system, once being touched by some boy, a girl cannot be married or given to any other boy. Nor would anyone agree to marry a girl who had already been associated with another boy. The elder member of the family, such as Bhishma, wanted to arrest him. Thus, all the members of the Kuru dynasty, especially the great fighters, joined together just to teach him a lesson, and Krsna was made to the commander-in-chief for a small battle.
While making the plan of arrest Samba, the Kurus concealed amongst themselves that upon his arrest the members of the Yadu dynasty would be very angry with them. There was every possibility of the Yadus accepting the challenge and fighting with them. But they also thought, if they came here to fight with us, what could they do? The members of the Yadu dynasty cannot equal because the king of the Kuru dynasty are the emperors, whereas the king of the Yadu dynasty are able to enjoy their land only because we have granted it to them. The Kurus thought, if they come here to challenge us because their son was arrested, we shall accept the fight and teach them a lesson, so that automatically they will be subdued under pressure, as the senses are subdued by the mystic yoga process of pranayam. In the mechanical system of mystic yoga, the airs within the body are controlled and the senses are subdued and checked from being engaged in anything other than meditation upon Lord Vishnu.
After consultation and after receiving permission from the elder members of the Kuru dynasty, such as Bhishma and Dhritarashtra, 5 great warriors, Karna, Sala, Bhuri, Yajnaketu and Duryodhana, the father of the girl, who were all Maharathis and who were guided by the great fighter Vishmadev, attempted to arrest the boy Samba. There are different grades of fighters, including Maharathi, Ekarathi and Rathi, classified according to their fighting ability. These Maharathis could fight alone with many thousands of men, All of them combined together to arrest Samba. Samba was also a Maharathi, but he was alone and had to fight with the 6 other Maharathis. Still, he was not deterred when he saw all the great fighters of the Kuru dynasty coming up behind him to arrest him.
Alone he turned towards them and took his nice bow, posing exactly as a lion stands adamant in the face of other animals. Karna, leading the party, challenged Samba, "Why are you fleeing? Just stand, and we shall teach you a lesson." When challenged by another Kshatriya to stand and fight, a Kshatriya cannot run away. He must fight. Therefore, Samba accepted the challenge and stood alone before them. But as soon as he did so, he was overpowered by showers of arrows shot by all the great warriors. A lion never afraid of being chased by many wolves and jackals. Similarly, Samba, the glorious son of the Yadu dynasty, endowed with inconceivable potencies as the son of Lord Krishna, became very angry at the warriors of the Kuru dynasty for improperly using arrows against him. He fought them with great talent. First of all, he struck each of the 6 charioteers with 6 separate arrows, 4 on each chariot.
dynasty. The leader of Kuru dynasty, especially Dhritarashtra and Duryodhan, were joyful because they knew very well the Lord Balram was agreeing the news. And so they immediately welcomed their Balram by giving him in charity nice cows and a mixture of arati, water and assortment of items such as honey, butter, flowers, and sandalwood pulp. Single moment, please try to carry out the order. King Ugrasena knows very well that you warriors of the Kuru dynasty improperly fought with the pious Samba, who was alone, and that with great difficulty, and we have all heard this news, but we were not very much agitated because we are the most intimately related to one another. I do not think we should disturb our good relationship. We should continue our friendship without any unnecessary fighting. Please therefore immediately release Samb and bring him along with his wife Lakshmana before me.
When Lord Balrama spoke in a commanding tone, full of heroic assertion, supremacy, and chivalry, the great leaders of the Kuru dynasty did not appreciate his statements. Rather, all of them became agitated, and with great anger, they said, "Oh, these words are very astonishing, but quite befitting the age of Kali. Otherwise, how could Balrama speak so vituperatively? The language and tone used by Balrama are simply abusive. And due to the influence of this age, it appears that the shoes befitting the feet want to rise to the top of the head, where the head is worn. We are connected with the Yadu dynasty wants to come live with us, dine with us, and sleep with us. Now they are taking advantage of these privileges. They had practically no position before we gave them a portion of our kingdom to rule, and now they are trying to command us. We have allowed the Yadu dynasty to use the royal insignias like the whisk, fan, conch shell, white umbrella, crown, royal thorn, sitting place, and bedstead, along with everything else befitting the royal order. They should not have used such royal paraphernalia in our presence, but we did not check them due to our family relationships. Now they have the audacity to order us to do things. Well, enough of their impudence. We cannot allow them to do any more of these things, nor shall we allow them to use these royal insignias. It would be best to take all these things away. It is improper to feed a snake with milk, since such merciful activity simply increases his venom. The Yadu dynasty is now trying to go against those who have fed them so nicely. Their flourishing condition is due to our gifts and merciful behavior. And still, they are so shameless that they are trying to order us. How regrettable are these things? How regrettable are all these activities? No one in the world can enjoy anything if members of the Kuru dynasty like Bhishma, Dronacharya, and Arjuna do not allow them to. Exactly as a lamb cannot enjoy life in the presence of a lion. Without our desire, it is not even possible for the demigods in heaven, headed by King Indra, to find enjoyment in life. What to speak of ordinary human beings? Actually, the members of the Kuru dynasty were very much puffed up due to their opulence, kingdom, aristocracy, family tradition, great warriors, family members, and vast, expansive empire. They did not even observe common formalities of civilized society, and in the presence of Lord Balrama, they uttered insulting words about the Yadu dynasty. Having spoken in this unmannerly way, they returned to their city of Hastinapur.
Although Lord Balrama patiently heard their insulting words and simply observed their uncivil behavior, from his appearance it was clear that he was burning with anger and was thinking of retaliating with great vengeance. His bodily features became so much agitated that it was difficult for anyone to look at him. He laughed very loudly and said, "It is true that if a man becomes too much puffed up because of his family, opulence, beauty, and material advancement, he no longer wants a peaceful life but becomes belligerent towards all others. It is useless to give such a person good instruction for gentle behavior and a peaceful life. On the contrary, one should search out the ways and the means to punish him. Generally, due to material opulence, a man becomes exactly like an animal. To give an animal peaceful instruction is useless, and the only means is argumentum ad baculum. In other words, the only means to keep animals in order is a stick. Just see how impudent are the members of the Kuru dynasty. I wanted to make a peaceful settlement despite the anger of all the other members of the Yadu dynasty, including Lord Krsna himself. They were preparing to attack the whole kingdom of the Kuru dynasty, but I pacified them and took the trouble to come here to settle the affair without any fighting. Yet, these rascals behave like this. It is clear that they do not want a peaceful settlement, for they are factually warmongers. With great pride, they have repeatedly insulted me by calling the Yadu dynasty ill names.
Even the king of heaven, Indra, abides by the order of the Yadu dynasty. And you consider King Ugrasen, the head of Bhoja, Varanasi, Andika, and Yadavas, to be the leader of a small prediction. Your concentration is wonderful. You do not care for the King Ugrasen, whose order is obeyed even by the King Indra. Consider the excellent position of the Yadu dynasty. They have forcibly used both the assembly house and the Parijat tree of the heavenly planet, and still you think that they cannot order you. Don't you even think that Lord Krishna can sit on the excellent royal throne and command everyone? All right, if you think is like that, you deserve to be taught a very good lesson. You have thought it is wise that the royal insignia like the whisk fan, white umbrella, royal throne, and other principally paraphernalia not be used by. Do this means that even Lord Krishna, the Lord of the whole creation and the husband of the goddess of fortune, cannot use this royal paraphernalia. The dust of Krishna's the whole world, and since it emanates from his lotus feet, its banks have turned into the great places of pilgrimage. The principal deities of all the planets engage in his service and consider himself the most fortunate to take the dust of the lotus feet of Krishna on their hamlets. Great demigods like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and even the goddess of fortune and I are simply planetary parts of his spiritual identity. And still you think that he is not fit to use the royal insignia or even sit on the royal throne. Alas, how regrettable it is that these fools consider us, the members of Yadu dynasty, to be like the shoes and themselves like the hamlets. It is clear now that these leaders of the Kuru dynasty have become mad, full of crazy proposal. I should immediately take them to the task and bring them to their senses. If I do not take step against them, it will be improper on my part. Therefore, on this very day, I shall rid the whole world of any trace of the Kuru dynasty. I shall finish them off immediately. While talking like this, Lord Balram seemed so furious that he looked as if he could burn the whole cosmos creation to ashes. He stood up steadily and taking his plough in his hand, began to strike the earth with it, separating the whole city of Hastinapur from the earth, and then he began to drag the city toward the flowing water of the river Ganges. This caused a great tumult throughout the Hastinapur, as if there had been an earthquake, and it seemed that the whole city would be
when all the members of the Kuru dynasties immediately came to their senses and understood what was happening. Thus, without waiting another second, they brought forward their daughter Lakshmana. They also brought Samba, who had forcibly tried to take her away. Keeping him in the play, you hold all the planetary systems on your head and within yourself. At that time, nothing remains but yourself, lying in a causal ocean, as the Mahavishnu. Our dear Lord, you have appeared on this earth in your transcendental body just for the maintenance of the cosmic situation. You are above all anger, envy, and enmity. Whatever you do, even in the form of chastisement or the whole material existence, we offer our respectful obeisances unto imperishable Supreme Personality of Godhead, to the reservoir of all opulence and opportunities. O Creator of innumerable again and again, we are now completely surrendered unto you. Please, therefore, be merciful upon us and give us your protection. When the prominent members of the Kuru dynasty, from grandfather Bhismadev to Arjun and Duryodhan, had offered their respectful prayers and assured them that there was no cause for fear and that they need not worry.
Inaugurate some kinds of sometimes kind of fighting between the parties of the bride and bridegroom before the marriage. When Sam forcibly took away Lakshmana, the elder members of the Kuru dynasty were pleased to see that he was actually the suitable match for her. In order to see his personal strength, however, they fought with him and without respect for the regulations of fighting. They all arrested him when the Yadu dynasty decided to release Sam for the confinement of the Kurus. Lord Balram came personally to settle the matter, and as a powerful Kshatriya by the order, so they challenged Lord Balrama's power. They simply wanted to see him exhibit his inconceivable strength. Thus, with great pleasure, they handed over their daughter to Samba, and the whole matter was settled. Duryodhan, being affectionate towards his daughter Lakshmana, had her married to Samba in great pomp. For her dowry, he first gave 1,200 elephants, each at least 60 years old. Then he gave 10,000, acted as a guardian of the bridegrooms. Samba and very pleasingly accepted the dowry. Balram was very satisfied after his great reception from the side of the Kurus, and accompanied by the newly married couple, he started towards his capital city of Dwarka.
Lord Balrama triumphantly reached Dwarika, where he met with many citizens who were all his devotees and friends. When they all assembled, Lord Balrama narrated the whole story of the marriage, and they were astonished to hear how Balrama had made the city of Hastinapur tremble. It is confirmed by Sukdev Goswami that in those days, Jiva Goswami, it is confirmed that the Ganges and Yamuna are the same river flowing in different courses. The part of the Ganges which flows through Hastinapur to the area of Vrindavan is called the Yamuna, because it is sanctified by the transcendental pastime of Lord Krishna, becomes inundated during the rain season, and reminds everyone of Lord Balrama's threatening to cast the city into the Ganges. 8th chapter of Krishna, the marriage of Samba. Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
तो बंद करेंगे वो हो जाएगा
हाफ चैप्टर वी कैन फिनिश.
हाँ नहीं हाफ ने पूरा चैप्टर बोला माता जी ने पूरा करो.
लास्ट टाइम भी आधा छोड़ दिया था माता जी.
नहीं लेकिन वो अभी मैंने मैसेज है कि पूरा करो.
तो बस ठीक है बंद करो.
और 10 मिनट का एक्स्ट्रा हो जाएगा. Chapter 69. The great sage Narada visits different homes of Lord Krishna. When the great sage Narada heard that Lord Krishna had married 16,000 wives after he had killed the demon Narakasura, sometimes called Bhaumasura, he was astonished that Lord Krishna had expanded himself into 16,000 forms and married these wives simultaneously in different palaces. Being inquisitive as to how Krishna was managing his household affairs with so many wives, Narada, desiring to see these pastimes, set out to visit Krishna's different homes. When Narada arrived in Dwarika, he saw gardens and parks full of various flowers of different colors, and also orchards overloaded with a variety of fruits. Beautiful birds were chirping, and peacock crowed delightfully. There were ponds full of the blue and red lotus flowers, and some of these ponds were filled with varieties of lilies. The lakes were full of nice swans and cranes.